What's up, everybody? This is Coach D. Darrell Spears again on the Coach D. Darrell Spears TV channel. Hope everybody is having a great day today. Today is going to be part two with the one and only Doe Eyes TV. As you all know, we did a previous interview, part one with Doe Eyes, in which she kind of detailed her experience with dating. She talked about a very long lasting relationship that she had that was of about 10 years in span, in which the intent was to get married. The intent was to build and have a long standing relationship. It didn't quite go that way. So in the last session, I'm sorry, in the last video that we had, Doe Eyes talked about all of the issues with family, other third parties coming in that affected the relationship. She talked about how it was a learning experience for her, how she moved forward. So today we're going to chronicle the tail end of that relationship as it led to her making the decision to end the relationship and move forward with her life. She's also going to talk about what dating was like for her in her 40s. And then lastly, we're going to really touch on her journey through celibacy and her ability to function as such to the present today. So at this point, I'm going to bring on the beautiful Doe Eyes. How you doing, Queen?
Coach D, happy Sunday.
Hey, good to see you. I'm glad that you're able to be here. So again, we're going to kind of piggyback from the last video, and we kind of talked about through all the things that happened from a financial standpoint with his family. We're talking about his inability to check them or to correct them. And also, as far as what he's seeing things financially, you made a decision that you needed to leave him. And the fact that he also had some infidelity going on that kind of speeded that process, I would say. So kind of talk to me about the relationship when you made the decision to leave and what that felt like for you, and how did you transition away from your partner?
Well, it became physical.
It became physical.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're saying physical, are you saying he became violent towards you or you were violent towards him?
Both.
Okay. So what triggered the physical? Was he the one that initiated this, or out of anger, you threw things or swung at him, or what?
No. As we discussed last time, there was some infidelity.
Right.
So, being younger, I was going to get back. So,
Oh, wow. So being that you were younger, I'm thinking you're in your 30s, right?
mm-hmm,
Okay. You physically did some things to get revenge?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, as you think about that, what do you think about the fact that you engaged in that? I know you were angry at the time. I know you were hurt. I know you wanted to get back at him because you found out he was with another lady. So were you like, did you physically throw things at him? Did you hit at him or fight him? Or did you like do some things to, kick him out? Like, explain what the physicality, what did that involve?
They were tussles. I mean, after I found out about the entanglement, I told you I was going to get back. There was an agent that I
Right.
talked to a lot about what was going on. That agent had issues at his home. So we actually began dating. Yeah.
So
This
it sounded like there was a bit of a little trauma bonding with that because he was dealing with his issue and you were dealing with your issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was he married too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Wow. So
And
that was
and
yes.
he wanted to leave his home. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have a wife and children. And
Okay.
because I was on Get Back, again, I was younger and vindictive in my ways. Because my
You kind
home,
of said that low a little bit, vindictive in my ways.
I'm being
Well,
honest. I'm really being honest. And
okay,
this is the danger. And I want you and your audience to know I would never do that again.
right,
There's a law enforcement element here. So you know where
okay,
I'm going with that.
right, right,
Somebody could have been bagged and tagged.
right.
Um, the agent and I, we bonded not only emotionally, but physically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what led to, well, I may get my own apartment. I'm like, no, mm-mm, don't do that. But it became dangerous in that I like little baby pumpkins during October.
Right.
I came home from work one day. There was a little baby pumpkin on the porch. And I'm like, I know this man did not come over here. So I got back the same way my ex got back. And it became ugly. The agent and I would go out, we would eat breakfast. An old co-worker of my ex saw us. When I got into my car on my way home, I ran off the side of the road. And when I got out and looked, my tires had been slashed.
Oh,
About 10 minutes later, I received a phone call. Did you enjoy breakfast? So my ex was behind that. Not saying he did that, but someone did that
wow.
because they
Well,
saw
he
us.
actually. Well, I mean, let's just kind of interpret that. If he called you directly, I mean, we can put two and two together.
Oh,
But
he was
I do get
behind
what
it,
you're
but whether
saying.
he actually did it, I don't know. Someone
Right.
did.
Right.
Yeah. So it really got ugly. So when I got in, yeah, I pushed him. I got pushed back and we started to tussle. And then there was a big old hole in the wall. And I
Wow.
said, you know what? I'm not going to lose my creds. And I really didn't want him to lose his creds because when you get a DV in certain industries,
That's it.
it's over.
Right.
So I said, you know what?
Right.
One night we got into it again, and I used my training and I flipped him on the bed. Mind you, I'm only 5 foot, but I'm pretty strong. Well, I was. And I'm like, thank God that was the bed because, he grabbed his back and I'm like,
He grabbed his back.
yeah, I flipped him.
Yeah, but that's a bit extreme to be grabbing weapons. I mean, that's
No, he grabbed his back, meaning that hurt him. And I didn't know if I had,
his back.
yeah,
I said a bat. Okay.
yeah. So I said, you know what? If somebody's going to get hurt, and I couldn't hold on to my ego anymore about, I'm still on the D, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't happy. And when it got to that point, I made an exit plan. I made some calls and found a condo, made sure that he was going to be at work. I took off, called the moving company, got all my stuff out, and
Wow.
cut up some of his coveted, coveted jerseys that he loved so much.
You all love to cut up and destroy the most revered materials and
I
gifts.
tore Troy Aikman jersey up.
And you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. You ought to be
Yep.
ashamed of yourself.
Nope. Nope.
Wow, well. I'm going to say this though, as I
No,
do.
but not, hold up.
Okay, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
When I went back to get my suits, night suits, they were in a garbage bag with Clorox doused all over them.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
So I think that experience, I think it was the best idea to separate from each other. And at
Mm-hmm.
that point, he was doing what he was doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
you connected to another man.
Mm-hmm.
The marriage
Which
was
I
no
ended.
longer.
I
Yeah,
ended.
yeah,
It
and
was
then you
wrong.
all were not married. You were not
No.
married.
No.
And the fact of the matter is that there was no more monogamy. You pretty much your heart was out of it, and his heart was out of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that now that was your house.
Both of our home.
Okay, so
And
you moved out the house.
I still own 50%. So he thought by listening to old girl, well, she's not on the mortgage. No, I'm on the deed. You can't do anything. And they thought because of my illness, I'd be gone, long gone by now.
They thought you were gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
That's evil. That is so evil.
Yeah. So they would have everything, but guess what? I'm still here at 54.
You ever thought about just selling his half to just selling it off in
I
parting
asked,
ways?
and these were the exact words. I will not allow you to get one red penny.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
So
like,
you're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see who dies first. That's crazy.
it is, but you know what? Again, most 80% of that came from my mother who left that. My brother and I, we became estranged because of that. We are now back talking and in a relationship again. Thank
Right.
goodness. But he was angry at me for doing that. He was like, you could have done something else with that, and look what happened. Hindsight, yeah, but I didn't know at that time.
Right.
I didn't
Right.
know.
That was just a very ugly situation. Very ugly.
It
Very
was
very
Coach
ugly.
D.
So
It was.
I think that it was very smart for you to realize, due to potentially harming your career and
Mm-hmm.
physically being harmed, or you harming somebody else, it was to get away. And I actually, one of the most difficult things to do when people experience domestic violence is for them
Mm-hmm.
to separate, either for good or temporarily, to
No, I
heal
knew it
it.
had to be for good.
Yeah, and so, but most people, it's difficult to leave. It's very difficult for them to make that decision. And I think you made the best idea. The best decision was to leave and never go back.
Yeah, because I wasn't just thinking about my safety, but my career.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So once you made that decision, you moved into a condo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Were you still financially supporting the other your home, or you just totally stopped financially?
No, I did for a while. I did for a while.
Okay, then you
I was
stopped.
able to. Mm-hmm.
So what made you to stop?
One day I just sat down and thought, after everything that I did from my heart, and I mean, I gave my all. I mean, all.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to him, but to family,
Yeah.
friends, co-workers. I would send them plates. I'm like, you know what? I only have two. I couldn't turn anything else.
Right. Wow. Okay. So you ended. It was done. It's over with. Was there any other communication with you and him afterwards? If so, how did it? How was it facilitated?
You high yellow bee. What happened to all of the furniture?
That's what he told you. That was his communication to you.
Mm-hmm. Not, hey, how
Wow.
are you doing? Yeah, it's with me.
Wow.
Where did, you
Mm.
thought I was going to leave that too? I mean, damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Coach D.
No, no, it's okay. I want
You
you
took
to be
everything
authentic.
else.
I want you to be authentic in what you feel. This is why we're here. We're here to discuss your experience, and you have the right to feel whatever way you felt at the time. I mean, you were betrayed. You know, he cheated on
My
you.
self-esteem, because when I was younger, I was kind of cute, but I felt so ugly and unattractive, unwanted.
Mm-hmm.
Just even though I had attention, but I didn't feel as though it was real.
From other men,
Mm-hmm.
you thought they were just lying to you to have sex with you, or
Mm-hmm. I
really?
began to hate myself. I would call
Mm.
myself ugly,
So if a guy came up
everything.
to you and said, "Oh, I think you look great today. You look cute. Can I take you out?"
Mm-hmm.
You just was kind of like, "Nah, no, I don't. Leave me alone. I'm
I
not.
would
You know,
basically say,
just."
"Go to hell." I don't want to hear it. I was
Oh
bitter.
wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I went through a
So
lot.
So how long did it take you? Because at this point, you know, that happened, then you had to move forward. You lived on your own.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to get through that scenario? I mean, did you still date the other guy?
No.
You left him
We
alone?
communicated, yeah, because it was wrong. It was wrong.
Right.
It
Was
was
he was
so
married,
wrong.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So was that the first and only time you were with a married man, or were you with other
Yes.
married men? Okay.
No. And I'm afraid now because if it's a big if I do, I'm like, karma, is that going to happen? I
So
mean,
you, well, I get that. I
yeah.
get that logically speaking, but there's no guarantees whether it never that happened or not. There are plenty, you know, it could happen to anyone whether you did that or not. You could be even
Mm-hmm.
if you never did that before, it still could happen if you did because you just never know. But
Right.
I understand the guilt behind it leads you
Yes.
to that idea and understanding. So you decide to you drop your ex and then you drop the guy you was having an affair with. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're all alone.
Yep. With my two
Now what?
dogs.
And your two dogs. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is about the dog keeping human beings company, but that's the most popular pet.
And
So
he
talk to
wanted
me.
them. My ex wanted them.
Right, but
Too.
I can see you kept those just to get back at them. You're not gonna let them get the
No,
dogs
no.
too.
I was the one taking care of them. I bought them. I'm feeding them. Took them to
Right,
the vet. I mean,
you did everything anyway.
right.
So kind of talk to me about um, being alone and how long it took you to heal from that relationship.
About a good 5 or 6 years.
5
I
to
had
6
to
years.
learn. I had to learn to love me
Okay.
and being comfortable with being by myself, going to the
Okay.
movies by myself,
Right.
going out to
Mm-hmm.
eat, traveling alone, and being at peace. And
Okay.
it took that
Now,
long.
now, now, why did you think it took 5 years? What was it the fact that you just was angry? Was it the fact that you just didn't want to date anybody, or you was just that mad at him?
That no,
Like, because
no,
that's a long time to get over somebody.
it
Now,
was. And
now did you seek
after we
therapy?
had, I'm sorry,
Did you seek therapy? Thought to even seek therapy?
no.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I get it. I get it. So the fact of the matter, you're very angry. You were alone. You found a way to start doing things without other people,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on doing things by yourself.
And I
What now? What it
totally threw myself into my work.
for 5 years? You never even
Today,
entertained it.
hmm
You said what?
even till today,
Right, right. So
hmm
you never entertained a date, or just everybody got to know.
everyone, the
Hmm.
trust was gone
Right, right.
totally.
But through that, let's look at it.
hmm
Looking back at that hindsight, do you think that that was the best thing, course of action for that long to be that way? Looking at it in hindsight,
Maybe for me it was, but I'm sure I ran off some good people.
you ran, and that's my point. And
hmm
so this is something that I deal with, and I know I'm doing Coach D, but sometimes the therapy side has to shear its head, for some point. And so part of why a lot of human beings take so long to heal, such as 5 years, is because it's difficult to face the truths of what you would have to do to be happy again.
hmm
And
And
in
the
order to
guilt.
do that, you're gonna have to open your heart again, open your mind. You're gonna have to trust. You're gonna have to show more confidence for yourself, your
Right.
self-esteem. So
hmm
when you encounter all of those different aspects, because typically, thinking about it, and I understand you were with him for 10 years, I think, right? I think it was 10 years.
Actually,
Okay,
more, but in that home, 10 years,
yeah,
but altogether, I'm going to say maybe 12 or 13.
12, 13 years. And so,
That's a
you know,
long,
and
long
so
time being young.
usually in my position as a therapist looking at that,
hmm
I'm looking at this from the perspective of if it takes you over a year, 10 months to 12 months to get over someone, then, and even to be honest with you, really about 6 months, 3 to 6 months is really, well, because of it being such a long time that you were with them, I could see maybe 10 to 12 months. When it get around to 10 to 12, almost a year and over, where it has really changed you, then that's a part that has some psychological intervention there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I
that's
was
probably,
over him. It's just I couldn't see myself going through that again.
yeah,
After about,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, you were over him, but you wasn't over the damage.
No, I was broken.
Yeah, and see, that's the
I
thing, that
mean,
the damage,
broken.
yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
damage is what I'm talking about, to repair the damage. And so therapy could have, because one of the things, like I talk to women all the time about this, particularly Black women, and we take time for granted.
Mm-hmm.
We take time, and time is, you can't take time for granted. And people in general think we always just have time. No, we
Right.
don't. We don't just have all this time. We don't
No,
know
you
when
don't.
our time is up. And so we have people that we draw it out, and I see it took 5 years. And so as me looking at this as coach, I'm looking at it like that was look, it's not against what you, because I understand you were doing your best doing it alone, right?
Right.
And that's why I promote therapy the way I do, promote other interventions, because it could have allowed you to be more functional, heal not a lot quicker, but definitely more functional to move forward. Instead of it taking 5 years, it may have taken a year and a half to 2 years, or
No.
it could. And so my thing is, I'm about people moving forward to be happy and not allowing past trauma and scenarios
Mm-hmm.
to block them from that. Because, like you said, you turned down a lot of good guys during that time. A lot
I'm
of good people,
sure. Yeah.
but you didn't give them a chance. And see,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when you say that, that's the argument that people make when women say there's not enough good men. But we don't think about the men you turned down that probably were good because of you not being in the right place or not
Right.
being in a good place.
Right.
So it's all water under the bridge now, because it's
Mm-hmm.
5 years of you just focusing on you, working on
Mm-hmm.
you, doing you. And it obviously it was a slow process, but it was an effective process. Okay. All
Correct.
right. So after that 5 years, what happened?
I began to continue to be productive at work,
Mm-hmm.
but I also started to get more ill.
Okay. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
were you getting ill? Did you find yourself your illness was definitely affecting you during the years after the
Yeah.
breakup, during that 5? Okay. So you did have some healthcare issues that also affected that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you found yourself becoming more ill, and what happened?
Um, I think the stress that I
Mm-hmm.
held in
Okay.
helped my lupus manifest into lung disease.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you have multiple issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I have um firsthand seen people go through and cope with lupus. Matter of fact, I have a niece right now who just found out, actually a year ago at 17, she had lupus, and she's going through her struggles with it. And I understand how the physical strain that lupus can
Mm-hmm.
put on you. So I don't have it, but I've seen it. So I can
Prayers to her.
definitely, yeah, I do empathize with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So in
A lot
having
of people
lupus,
don't know because they'll say, "Well, you don't look sick. You don't
yeah,
see my
you
lungs."
don't look, yeah, but it's a physical strain. It's a
Right.
that they don't understand. And to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you, a lot of people with lupus are good at masking. They
That's
shouldn't
what I
be
did.
working, and they're working. They shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be working, but they're still working.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people with lupus do when they have it. They still try to work. They smile every day. They
Mm-hmm.
act like, and they're in pain, and they're
I'm
tired.
in
They're
pain now.
exhausted. Right.
But you
I
know
hate to
what?
hear you. I hate to hear you say that. It,
Well,
but
when
I
you
get
hear me
it.
cough a lot, that's what it is. It's my lungs. I already know the inevitable. I accepted that, but I still have life in me, and that segues into 2018.
Right,
2018, I had a regular, or so I thought, appointment with my pulmonary specialist, and he was reviewing my latest X-rays, and he actually put his hand on my knee, and I saw a little tear fall, and I'm like, what now? What else? Keep in mind, I'm a believer,
right,
but at that point, when your doctor does that, something bad is to come. So
right.
I'm like, what? He said, you're a candidate for a lung transplant. But African Americans, as far as being on a list, it's difficult. And not only that, because of the condition of both of my lungs, I'm not strong enough to withstand anesthesia. So I'm like, are you telling me I need to go ahead and start making plans?
Right.
You just told me go home and think about a lot of things. I don't know how I made it home. I was praying, I was crying. Everything was just going on in my head.
The world was crumbling down per se.
Again, again. So I said a prayer and I asked my creator, please, I'm tired of living like this. Please remove all of the taste out of my mouth that is not of you. That was 2018. That included gambling, moderate drinking, not a lot. I would do that when I gambled.
Right.
Um, Entanglements. Um,
Entanglements. It's funny you use that word because that could mean a whole lot.
you know what I'm talking about.
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
I know what
talking.
you're talking about, but it's just when you said it, it just caught me off guard. But go ahead.
Yeah, and that I wasn't happy with that. That was depression. Everything I just named was depression. Unhealthy eating, and I said I don't care how uncomfortable this may be, but I don't want to live like this anymore.
Okay.
And I didn't know at the time what I was asking for because it was uncomfortable, and
Right.
that is what made me embark into celibacy
Okay.
from 2018 to present.
Okay. So for the last 5 years, you've been celibate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now,
A
you did say,
vegan, no
oh, go ahead.
gambling, no
Right.
drinking. I said I'm a vegan, a raw vegan. No drinking, no gambling, none of that. All of those
Hmm.
things I prayed for, gone. Health issues still there, but
Right.
you got to remember, 2018 really should have been it for me. He not
Right.
added just 1 year, he added several.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm committed to my prayer, and that's how I live my life. And I'm at peace
Okay.
with it.
You decided to make a 360 life as far as life, the way you approach life, value
Absolutely, how I live
system,
my life.
things.
Mm-hmm.
You decided to now take another turn as far as at this point in your life. I'm gonna live a more pure lifestyle, I would say,
Yes,
and that's been working for
absolutely.
you.
It is.
Good. So, talk to me about the difficulties of not only were you celibacy itself, but you stop doing things like gambling, you stop drinking a little bit, you stop being in entanglements. I mean, that's and the food and everything, especially the food. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that takes how long did it take you to be consistent with that, like to where it didn't bother
About a year and a half.
you? Okay.
And it
So
takes
the
discipline.
so the urges of everything were very hard to deal with.
No, not. Not all of them.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Okay.
The food, I would say, was the most.
I could. Yeah.
Men,
Okay.
I've been through enough. Gambling, that was a little bit difficult, but
Right.
not as much as I thought it would be.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So between the time that you decided um to be celibate and
Mm-hmm.
going through the health issues, was there anybody you were entertaining it seriously, or it was just all kind of for fun, just doing my
I would
thing?
have little get togethers or I would attend events, but all of that other, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So there really was nobody, no real serious relationship.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Didn't want one.
So you didn't want one.
Mm-mm.
Was it
Mm-mm.
just the fear of being hurt, or just you just felt like there's so many things going on in your life, I don't need other
I didn't
compounded
need any more
issues?
stressors. I was starting to feel better health wise. And I'm like, you know what? I made a commitment. I'm going to keep it.
Okay. Now, I must add, I mean, I do know that you do have a confidant, you do have a
hmm
life partner. So
hmm
let's kind of talk about how he came into your life.
Well, when I do my lupus walks, he's always been there. He's had issues, um, tragedy. So there's not going to be any marriage, not just from me, but him, period. That made his decision. We're good. We live technically right across the street, but
From each other? You're
mhm,
like neighbors?
mhm, but
Okay.
I sleep alone. I wake up alone. I'll cook meals, leave meals, check on his little doggy. He'll check on things. We call one another. There's a level of respect, but other than a gentle or friendly hug, there's no type of
Affection?
entanglement. No.
I mean,
Mm-mm. I
that's
mean, you
that's
could.
no
Mm-mm.
kiss and hug.
No, no.
Wow.
And it doesn't bother me.
Does it bother him?
No.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm sure he has whatever. I don't question that. He doesn't question what I do. He's not a social media person. I'm on it, but not as much as many people. We're
Right.
both
There's
into our
definitely
work.
not many.
Yeah. And we're
Right.
both
Right.
really into our work.
Okay. Okay.
He's actually
So
a crime victims advocate. So you can imagine what he has to bring home.
so
So
you like
mhm.
law enforcement guys?
Maybe, I don't know.
If that's what you're comfortable with, you like guys
That's
that
what I'm
are,
used to, I guess. Military,
yeah, you like,
business people. Yeah. I mean, I've met all types. So I'm not like, what do you call it? Tunnel vision to one,
right?
but that's what I'm used to, I guess.
Wow. Okay. So how did y'all meet? Just because y'all live in the same neighborhood, or
Nope. I had a fundraiser up for lupus.
and y'all
And he
just
knew
talked
some
and
people.
talked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah.
So when you think of him as far as being, I guess your partner, do y'all have a label, or it's just we're just in a platonic relationship? Like what's the
I guess
label
you could
here?
call it that, but we both love the theater. We'll go to the theater together. We'll go out to eat. We'll go feed the ducks. Talk. I mean, talk about current events, things of that nature. But we both don't have a whole lot of time. Lord knows I don't. So we made those decisions and we're good and
Right.
happy.
Right. Right. Okay.
hmm
So now I heard you say you're in pain right now. So has your health been not so good, or is it okay, or just time to time this is just part of coping with your illness?
It's coping. It's no cure, number one. And because it's affected my lungs, any lung damage, scarring is irreversible. So right now, it's progressed. You can hear it in my voice, but right now my doctors are just trying to slow it. So
Mm.
I have to make sure I keep my stress levels down,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is not easy.
Yeah,
Not
and
even.
I'm gonna say this, being on YouTube, because we've talked about the cyber bullying and
Right.
I deal with people all the time on this. Being on YouTube can be a stressful situation.
Hmm.
Being on YouTube is not always the most pleasurable experience.
Right. But I've met some
So
good people.
yeah, you meet a bunch of bad people too. And I've done a little bit of both, and I've seen
Me
stuff
too.
turn real life, and you know things went legal, and I spent money on that. There's just a lot.
Absolutely.
So that
Hmm.
it can. I've seen the ugly side of that. But you know
Hmm.
what I like? I like the fact that through all that, I see you smiling when you're on your channel and you're smiling, you're happy, and I know because we've talked offline, we've communicated offline through email before and stuff like that. And you've talked to me about a lot of different things. And
Hmm.
it's a good thing to just see you happy and smiling and doing what you're doing. It's good
Absolutely.
to see that. It's very, very intriguing to see you that way. So at this point, to me, it sounds like to me your dating situation is that you have this strong friend that you
Hmm.
bond with, but just in a non-sexual, non-affectionate manner. And,
Absolutely.
and and you seem to be. I mean, is this something where are you all committed to this, or is just that this is what we chose to do?
That's her choice. I mean, honestly,
Okay, that
really,
could change. Could that
with him,
or you?
I mean, if someone else, as we spoke before, comes along and if it's right, then yeah, I would be open to it. But right now, I'm really not looking.
Yeah, you've really been kind of about that, and I get that because you've been it's working for you is
Hmm.
what I'm looking at. So if it's working for you, the fact of the matter is that you have survived years beyond what people expected you.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. And to me, just from what I've seen of friends and others, what they go through and where I am, I guess I'm not willing to go back. And we don't know, as you mentioned earlier, what could happen.
Right.
It's
You
a
don't.
chance. It's a chance. So
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
mean,
maybe
yeah.
I'm being selfish, but I'm not really ready to take that chance right now. If it
Well,
comes, maybe, but right now I'm not actively looking.
right. Of course. And you stated that.
Mhm.
As I've heard you talk about this and mention it and so forth, it sounds like it's a very small chance that you're going to ever. But things could change, but I do think that it would be good to be open if the right situation did come along.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
it also would be the fact that I do think that if there's someone who, as far as is not playing, you're not looking for stressful situations, you're not looking for games. You're just looking for, to me, that fits the standards and the things that the basic things. I mean, no one's perfect, but what
No,
I'm
I'm
stating,
not.
if they can hit on the key attributes that you're looking for, and they're more of bringing an asset instead of being a liability, and
Reliability.
that may be worth entertainment or just see where it goes. I mean, you can start slow and see. This is the issue with today. People move very very fast in things.
Hmm.
They get together. Bam, they start having sex. Bam, they live in. I mean, I've had situations. Even some of the people that I've interviewed where they were living together with someone within 3 to 4 months. That is very quick to you just start dating somebody and within 90 days you're living together. That to me is a recipe for disaster. Or you have people who did barely know each other, went and got married and stuff. Just like we have to have some balance here.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is that hey, what works for you,
Hmm.
and if you think the situation is right, then you make that decision. But
Absolutely.
But I do understand this, and I can tell the life changes that you chose
Yes.
are working for you. So I can't go against something that you know is working for you. So that we have to definitely looking at that, you know. So now, have you had any situations of someone trying to date you on social media?
Hmm.
You slowly answered that. Why? What was the hesitancy in saying yes? Was it a reason for that, or was it more? Was it a very negative?
It wasn't negative. I was surprised.
Oh, you're surprised?
Hmm.
Really?
Hmm.
What made you surprised?
Because there's this narrative, I guess maybe in our sector, that women over 50, and I'm 54, old, haggard, may
They
as
don't
well
get they don't
put
get hit
in
on.
basically, or leftovers, or not attractive, or you hear it all.
Was
Hmm.
this a younger man that
Hmm.
made a? How much younger?
Maybe 5 years older.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry,
okay,
younger.
okay,
Hmm.
okay. All right.
But he didn't
Wow.
think I was 54.
Huh?
He didn't think I was 54.
He didn't think. I didn't think you was 54. I would be honest. I didn't think you were 54 either. I thought you were late. I was gonna say late 40s. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking late 40s. So when he asked you, or did he email you or something, like did it just shock you, or you were just,
He
was it a
slid
good type
into
of
my
shock, or were you just like, I'm just nah, I could never be interested in you?
no, he slid into my DM.
Okay.
I
Oh,
mean,
he
it was
slid.
nice. He was nice about it, but I'm just told him that I wasn't interested in dating anyone at this time.
Mm, okay. Wow. What do you think about turning so many men down? Do that, like, you
No, it's
know?
not so many. Don't put it out there like that. You're making me
Well,
feel like Elizabeth Taylor.
no,
No,
but I mean, but you do get people that do kind of make a pass at you from time to time. That happens, right?
yeah, here and there,
Yeah.
here
I
and
mean,
there.
it's not like it's not happening at all. Like it's just zero instances. I
Oh,
mean, I could.
then I would really feel bad. But no, I mean,
Okay.
again, I'm still living. I keep myself up. So,
Right.
mm,
Yeah, and like I've told you, I mean, you have a lot of life to live, regardless of what you are, enduring. You still
mhm.
have a lot of life, and as long as you can do things for yourself independently,
Yes.
you can do whatever you feel, whatever you like, whatever if you decide not to, or if you want to, at least if
Oh,
you decide to, you're able to. There's some
I'm
people that
able and capable. I can go out
okay,
there, throw the football. I run. I'm good.
okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So we're at the tail end of the interview. It's definitely been a great interview. And
Thank you.
any last words?
Only thing I can say is be true to yourself.
Hmm.
Don't try not to stay in pain because you don't have to. Because
Right.
time is something you can never get back.
That is so true. That is so true. Well, I'm
Tangible,
gonna.
yes, but
Mhm.
time, no. And I believe, and I hate to say it, that I've wasted time with my ego and not wanting to ask for help. So I would do that different.
Right. Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand it. Hey, everybody makes that mistake. So, Miss Doe Eyes,
Yes.
the lovely Miss Doe Eyes TV, I have to say, appreciate you for being here. And for everybody, again, you can go check out Doe Eyes TV. It's a very good channel. You'll see people like Papa Duck, and we've seen Judge Joe Brown on there. I mean, she has a lot of good content. She interviewed an actor the other day that was on that act with DL with what's his name?
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington and so forth. I mean, you have a lot of good guests that you interview. So I want to encourage you all, please go subscribe to her channel and watch her content. It's really, really good content, really good positive content. With that being said, guys, this is Coach D. Darrell Spears. Have a great day.